Well, hello everyone. Well, I just started my Easter vacation. I'm pretty stoked about it. Not really planning on going anywhere, but I did decide to dig out the charger, get it all waxed up, try the new ceramic wax on it. It's awesome. Did a drive down around the coast. Just made a big loop-de-loo to go down on the coast and do a little sightseeing from the car. You know, checked out a fort. Found a really cool artillery piece that was on display when I was out and about doing a hike along the Atlantic coastline. Really good time. Well, during my travels, I decided to stop by a couple places on the way. First place I stopped by was called Gone A.W.O.L Cafe. It's in Jacksonville, North Carolina. It's a really cool little barcade. They got a nice selection of arcade machines in there, quite a few of them. And they have one of my favorites as well, the Black Knight Sword of Rage. Now, I like the Black Knight 2000 pinball, but I really like the sequel to it. It's a lot of fun to play. Their pinball machines also have the little drink holders, so you can put your beer or whatever in the little holder while you're playing pinball stuff, which is really nice. They have a really nice menu there of all kinds of different types of food, some wraps, and different types of hot dogs, things like that. I was a very bad Willie. I went off my diet and had a devil dog. I had to try it. It was very good, but I can't really have those because I'm trying to lose some weight. Yeah, it's been a struggle, but I'm doing pretty good. I've lost probably about 10 pounds since I've started my diet about a month ago. So I'm getting there, getting out walking a lot more. I'm rambling. I got to quit rambling. But anyway, there's a lot of cool decor around this cafe. It's all based from the different wars, you know, World War II, Vietnam War, the Korean War, stuff like that. A lot of different artifacts and pictures posted on the wall. They had this one picture in the bathroom I really like. It has all the different kinds of nose art from the bombers from World War II. And, you know, I like the World War II era. I'm very fascinated by all the machines and planes and tanks and things like that. You know, one of my favorite tanks is the Sherman tank. I love that tank. And I really like bombers. My favorite bomber is the B-17 bomber. My wife's grandfather flew in the African campaign as a left gunner. He used to tell me all kinds of war stories when we go down and visit him. And one of the stories he told me about was him being on the bomber. And he was telling me that while the pilot usually names the plane, the crew members can name an engine. And they had an engine on their plane that gave them a lot of problems. So he decided to name the engine after his wife, or my wife's grandmother. I got the biggest kick out of that. Her grandmother wasn't too amused though, because every time he would tell that story, she would give him a dirty look. It was great. And I'm rambling again. Oh well. Anyway, right next door, two doors down, is an arcade called the JVegas Arcade. It's owned by the same people who do the Gone A.W.O.L Cafe as well. This arcade is incredible. And there's quite a few of my favorite games in this arcade. For example, they have 1943. I like that shmup. Xenophobe, which that's a really great game. I love Xenophobe. RoboCop, that's a classic. Love RoboCop. They have Vindicators in there, which I've not really seen too many times. It was a lot of fun to be able to play it again while I was down there. They have Choplifter, which that's a cool arcade game. I've got it on my home consoles, but I really like the arcade game quite a bit. They also have that 4-player newer Rampage game as well. I've never played it before, so I gave it a try. That game is a blast. I could just imagine what it'd be like to have 4 people playing that all at once. They have some of the light gun games like the Terminator Salvation, some other gun games in the back. They also have a little air hockey table which that's a classic thing to have in an arcade, is air hockey. It's a really cool game. I've always liked playing air hockey. They also had the sit-down Batman game, which I've played that before, and it's a really fun game where you're driving the Batmobile. You choose what Batmobile you drive, and you're taking out the baddies with your machine guns. And it's almost like a modern version of Spy Hunter almost, but it's Batman themed. It's a blast to play. It's a lot of fun. It's an arcade game I enjoy playing whenever I see it. And I really like the sit-down cabinet version of it. But anyway, the decor of the place is pretty cool. They have different neon signs around. They have like different creatures and things from movies. You know, like they've got Slimer from Ghostbusters hanging off the ceiling, which I think is pretty cool. They had this little alien dude that I really got a kick out of. He looked pretty neat. They had a UFO hanging up in the corner of one of the rooms, which, you know, it was all lit up. It's very well done. There's 2 rows of arcade games. There's quite a few. There's some I didn't even mention, but there's quite a few down there. On their Facebook page, they'll do like little exposés on different games they got down. They'll talk about them and show pictures of them and stuff like that. If you're ever down in the Jacksonville area, I highly recommend visiting these 2 places. The Gone A.W.O.L Cafe, play some pinball, and head over next door to JVegas and play some classic arcade games. There was one arcade game in there that I had never seen before. It was by Atari. Well, it was licensed to Atari by Galeco, a Spanish arcade company. It's called Radical Bikers. Think of it as Crazy Taxi, except you're riding a scooter delivering pizzas in the Mediterranean. It's freaking awesome. The controls of the game are basically the handlebars of a scooter. You got a throttle, you got a brake, you steer with it, you can pull back on it to pop a wheelie, or push forward on it to like stand up and give yourself more speed. I'm addicted to this game. I really, really like it. It is a lot of fun. I'm a big fan of Crazy Taxi, and this game is incredible. Can't play it worth a darn. This little video I'm showing right here, I'm playing it one-handed while I hold my phone. And I'm not doing good at all trying to play it one-handed. But also found out that it was also translated to the PlayStation by Bit Managers. It was only available in the European market, but I downloaded the ISO for it and gave it a try using RetroArch, and it plays really well. I'm going to see if I can find an actual copy of it, add to my collection back there. It's a PAL game, so I'll probably be able to play it in emulation. I won't be able to play it on my actual PlayStation I got, no matter what I do. I doubt I can play it, even though I know I got the little Game Shark disc where I can put it in there and swap it out and start a game from a different region. I don't think that game's going to work. I'll give it a try, see what happens. You never know. But for now, I can play it in RetroArch. I did find the arcade ROM for it, but unfortunately MAME doesn't emulate it very well. The music's very choppy. It plays fine. You can play the game. So I guess if I mute it, I can play the game and just listen to different music. But I kind of like the charm of listening to all the sound effects and the music that is playing on the arcade game. Hopefully sometime in the future, maybe MAME will get updated where that gets corrected or whatever. But it's kind of cool. And I'm rambling again. I do a lot of rambling on this channel that a lot of you are, most of you are used to. But if you're new to the channel, I'm sorry if you don't like the rambling parts. But anyway, that's Gone A.W.O.L Cafe and JVegas. 2 really great little arcades down in Jacksonville, North Carolina. If you're ever in the area, like I said before, I highly recommend you stop by and visit the place. It's pretty awesome. As always, everyone, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.